What's up guys, Zach Hirsch here, live at the Boxer Gym. Today I'm gonna sit down with the one and only, the monster, David Benavidez. What's up guys, Zach Hirsch here, live at Boxer Gym in sunny South Florida. Today I'm joined by the WBA light heavyweight champ, the monster, David Benavidez.
So my brother.
Rare day off for you. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man.
A lot of talk about you. You've been one of the biggest stories in the boxing world. You're really become the face of it. You've grown into yourself. We've seen you grow up from a kid dominating in the gym to now a full-fledged champ in a couple different weight classes. Talk to me about the David Benavidez coming up in boxing versus you now.
So, basically started off with the dream. I've been having this dream and this vision since I started boxing at 2 years old. I'm 28 now, so 26 years of my life I've been boxing. Been dedicated for this whole time, and now that I'm coming up through the ranks, I've been able to assert myself at the top of the boxing, and just making my case that I am the best in the world, and I'm taking on all comers. Unfortunately, we didn't get an opportunity with Canelo at 168, but now we're number one ranked at 175, and now we're eyeing the possibility of fighting for all 4 titles.
Yeah.
So undisputed is next. So right now, I've just been coming through the ranks. Been keeping my head down, been making a lot of noise, and just trying to be the best version of myself that I could possibly be.
So Dmitry Bivol is next.
Yeah. So that's what in boxing, not everything is 100%, but that's what we're entitled to next. The possibility to fight in Bivol. We're still trying to negotiate it. We have until April 8th to negotiate the fight and see what's going to happen. But that's what's on the horizon right now, and that's what we're trying to make happen.
Ahead of your fight with David Morrell, you brought in my guy Gerardo. I saw you with Memo. I said, this guy's taking it to a whole nother level outside of the ring. It seemed like your dedication was just at 1,000 heading into that fight. It showed you had a great performance. Would you agree with that assessment?
No, yeah, definitely. Gerardo and Memo Heredia, all my people on my team, I like great quality trainers. They have so much experience. Used to work with Evander Holyfield, a lot of other great fighters. Memo Heredia, too, who's working with Marquez and a lot of other great fighters, too. So they have a lot of knowledge to give, And that's why now, it's boxing. You have to work hard in boxing, strength and conditioning. Every area has to be 100. I mean? And I feel like with the team I got now, we're hitting all corners. In every area, we're doing amazing in every area. So we're just gonna keep going up.
Yeah, which is impressive for a guy like you, whose talent is through the roof, right? I mean, the potential is always. Everyone in boxing has kind of dubbed you as you were the golden child. And even when I speak to guys who have sparred with you, there's not one guy who says you aren't the most talented guy they've worked with. Yeah,
and it's funny too because obviously I'm not the #1 candidate to be the golden child. I've earned everything I've had. With experience. There's been a lot of people that try to call me on my name saying I'm not the best. So what do? I go in there and I show them I'm the best. So it's just me just making a statement for myself and just being, like I said, I don't want anybody to give me anything. I want to go and take it. So that's how my career has been so far.
And pressure's been sky high for you.
Yeah.
How is that?
No, everything has been good, bro. Like I said, I already knew when I was a little kid that I'd be able to not only to challenge but become a champion in this position. And like I said, I don't have no stress because since I've been a little kid, I knew this was a possibility. Now that I made it happen, now I know I could do it. So now we're just being the best that I could possibly be for myself.
You spoke about not being able to get the Canelo fight at 168. We had a soap opera type timeline with that. Supposed to fight Jake Paul, ends up going to Terrence Crawford. Your name doesn't come up.
Yeah.
Nowhere in those talks is David Benavidez mentioned. What are your thoughts on that Crawford fight and the whole lead up to it?
No, so I feel like my name isn't mentioned because I'm the most dangerous fighter out there, but for the least amount of money. Now all these fighters, I feel like they see everything as a business move, which it wasn't like that back then. But I feel like just the dynamic of boxing is changing. But like I said, Canelo, in my opinion, the best fight that he could make would be with me.
Yeah. Because
it'd be the best fight in boxing. Would give the fans, a lot of fireworks with that fight. But Canelo, he wanted to go a different route. He wanted to fight somebody that's coming up from 147, and smaller guy. Not to say that it's going to be an easy fight for him, because Terrence Crawford is a great fighter. But I mean, I feel like it'd be better for the people if he fought somebody in his own weight class. You know what I mean? But But like I said, we just, if anything, that doesn't derail me. If anything, it gives me more motivation because now I know that, oh, these people are ducking me for a reason. You know what I mean? Back then, I kind of already had the feeling that, these people weren't publicly ducking me. You know, now it really just shows you how good I am.
Well, your talent jumps out.
Yeah.
To anyone that's been around boxing or in boxing. Some pundits suggest that the Crawford fight's super competitive, could go either way. Some people I talked to said, I think the Jake Paul fight would have been more competitive than the Crawford fight because of the size difference.
Yeah, it's like one of those things that you have to see how, you're going to have to watch it to see how it plays out. There's so much things that I feel like could happen in that fight, but I don't know. We're just going to have to see how it plays out. It could be easy. It could be hard. I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, how do you think a Jake Paul fight would go with a Canelo?
I think it would be a good fight, too. I mean, obviously, I think Canelo would win. I'm not going to lie. Jake Paul doesn't have that experience. But
could he do better than people think?
But Jake Paul, he has a good shot. He has a good right hand. He has good power. So, I mean, I don't know. That's another fight we would have to watch and see how it plays out, too.
Yeah, he showed a lot of respect on your name in that interview. He said you're the one guy that he says absolutely no, that he's a monster. He can't fuck with you. But that he would like to fight an Anthony Joshua. So does that give you more confidence that you're being viewed as a guy you don't want to fuck with, but he'll go out there and fight a heavyweight Anthony Joshua?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. That's always how it's been. I know what I could do. I know how much power I have. And not only just the power, but the skill, the determination, the will I have. I feel like it's unmatched. And I'll beat all these guys.
You talked about how, Canelo's going after the easiest fight for the most amount of money. And we're kind of in a space of boxing where these fights for influence are taking over. But you've been an early supporter of Jake. I remember you were in the locker room ahead of the Anderson fight when a lot of guys were saying that's nonsense, that's not good for the sport of boxing. You kind of embraced it, even while being a world champ and a top guy. Talk to me about these fights for influence and kind of their role on boxing and bringing young fans in.
Yeah, I just think the dynamic of boxing is changing. You know what I mean? It's nothing bad because at the end of the day, I think what gets people upset is the amount of money Jake Paul or other influencers make because I mean, you look at it like, well, we've been doing this our whole lives, and these guys just come in and they take the whole bag. But boxing is just one step of the whole show. These guys definitely know how to promote themselves. They know how to bring in their people. They know how to sell pay-per-views. So us boxers, instead of looking at this and hating on it, we can look at this and learn and see, ask questions. What are they doing? How do I bring more people in? So for me, in my own process, I've been taking notes. I've been looking at everything Jake Paul's doing, all the other influencers, and then obviously just working on my craft, what I'm working on. So, I feel like it's good for the sport because also Jake Paul has fans that probably are not my fans of my own. You know what I mean? It's a different type of people. We both come from different backgrounds. He comes from a different part of the world. I come from a different part of the world. So in these two different parts of the world, there's going to be different people that we get to influence. So as much people that get influenced to watch boxing and support boxing and try to box themselves, I feel like it's good for the sport at the end of the day.
Yeah, and especially, his stuff with women's boxing. They're going to have that Netflix main event in July.
Yeah, and then shout out to Jake, too. They made one of the biggest women's fight in all of boxing history with Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. So they're doing a lot of good things for the sport of boxing.
Yeah, and now we're getting that trilogy. And it seems like on the flip side of that, at the same time we're getting all these fights, we're also getting the best fight and the best again. Yeah. Which, if we get you versus Dmitry Bivol, depending on how those negotiations go, that's yet another one. Yeah. But the Usyk and Fury fight for undisputed status, I mean, talk to me about kind of how boxing has been shaping out, because to me, I feel like it's on an upward trajectory.
Yeah, I feel like that as well. I feel like people, the boxers in the game, obviously everybody wants to get as much money as they could possibly get. And I feel like the boxers are finally waking up and knowing that we're not going to get to these heights that we want to get if we don't fight these guys. And at the end of the day, that's how you get the money. You fight the best in the world. You show that you're the best in the world, and the money comes on its own. You know, I've never chased the money myself. I've only chased the glory, and the money came by itself. And then also with that, I get more respect. So I feel like now everybody is just kind of caught on to that, and everybody's just fighting the best. And like I said, I feel like a lot of people in boxing have a lot of stuff to prove now. So, you know, thank God we're getting all the fights that we want to see.
Yeah, there was a deal between Dana White and Turki Al-Sheikh, handshake, TKO Boxing, now official. They're going to be looking to do cards. How does that shake up the sport of boxing?
I mean, I feel like it kind of shakes. It doesn't really shake it up. It just adds to it. You know, I feel like PBC, DAZN, you know, they're always going to be here. You know what I mean? Boxing, it doesn't like change too much, so it likes to keep its people. So our promotion is going to be here for like the next 10 years. I don't know how the TKO and all that's going to intertwined into all this. But like I said, the more money there is to give boxers, I feel like it's better for the boxing community.
Yeah, more money in the pot.
Yeah.
So you see the 4-belt system staying, and everyone.
I see it. I definitely see it. I feel like for boxers, you know, that's the only thing we got to look up to. That's our only Super Bowl. That's our only NBA Finals. You know what I mean? As for boxing. So it's for them to take out the WBC, WBA. It's going to be a little hard, but they're probably going to want to tag themselves along into that. They're probably like want to insert another belt or something like that. So I mean, I don't know. I think right now the TKO still has its infancy. So I don't know what their plans are, you know, but we'll see. Like I said, the more people that get to be signed and get to be seen, and, you know, and get to their talents get to be brought to light, it's better for boxing in general.
Yeah, it seems like to me they want to just have one belt as opposed to the 4 belts. So you versus Bivol would just be for undisputed status, 1 belt. That's it. Similar to the UFC.
The only thing that is hard is that you have so much great boxers on every side. You got me on PBC. You got Canelo on TKO now. You got Bivol on Daz, and there's just so much good fighters. You know what I mean? So it's gonna take some time to see what happens. But like I said, the more money that gets put into boxing, the better it is.
Yeah, so like if you won the title and the next fight was Bill versus Benavidez, they wouldn't have a title on the line, right? You would be the sole champ.
I would fight for all belts, but I don't think the undisputed that they have would come with us. I think it's just, and at the end of the day, I don't care. I just want the WBC, WBA, IBF, and WBA.
But as a young kid growing up, that's what you looked up to.
Yeah, so so that's definitely, you know, there's a lot of changes coming to boxing, but like I said, it's for the better, man.
Yeah. You're a big dude. You've definitely filled out at 175. Do you see yourself ultimately going up to cruiserweight and beyond?
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, if I had the opportunity to go up to cruiserweight right now, I'd take it. You know, there's this guy that I used to work with named Zurdo Ramirez. We used to get a lot of great sparring sessions in. And I know with me and him, a fight would be, you know, top tier pay-per-view fight that everybody would have to see.
That's excellent.
So I definitely, I feel good at 175 right now, but I feel like I can make the jump to 200 cruiserweight. So. Yeah, so the cruiserweight is definitely in my cards.
Have you flirted with heavyweight at all?
I've sparred heavyweights, but at heavyweight, the thing about heavyweight now is that they're different animals now, bro. Back then, Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, he was a big heavyweight. Yeah. And he was only 6'1". Yeah. Now you got freaking Deontay Wilder, 6'7", Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, 6'9". Bro, these guys are close, a little bit over 280. Yeah. So right now, you know, until my body could fill into it, I don't even think heavyweight is in my cards. I think honestly, I'm good at cruiserweight. Yeah, because if you look at Rocky Marciano, he's like smaller than you. Small, yeah. He's small, yeah. Yeah, never 5'11". Yeah, 5'11", right? I mean, all heart, determination, grit, but like, they don't make fighters like him anymore at all, but like at heavyweight now, he'd be a dwarf. Yeah. So it's just different stuff. I mean, I feel like everybody is just evolving. You know what I mean? The fighters are getting bigger and bigger. I honestly think that they should add another weight class. Because 250, what these fighters do, so the weight limit is 220. But none of these guys weigh 220. They're all like 270, 280, you know what I mean? So I feel like 250, they should cut it and make it super heavyweight. And it's also good for the boxers too, because now you have an opportunity to win heavyweight and super heavyweight. So the more belts you could win, the more you could add value to yourself. Yeah, Usyk has kind of shocked the boxing world. He went up from cruiserweight to heavyweight, took down the giant twice. I think Usyk, he's one of my favorite boxers of all time because he's cut from a different cloth. That guy is, you see some guys that are just skill. You see some guys that are just power, but this guy's skill, will, determination, and heart. You know, I've never seen nobody with such a heart like that just keeps him going through the whole fight. So I mean, the dude is honestly one of a kind. I don't think there'll ever be another person like Usyk. So he's your favorite boxer's favorite boxer. He's not my favorite boxer, but he's one of my favorite boxers. Yeah, he's a legend. He's a guy that someone like you just has extra respect for. Yeah. He's like, so in my eyes, the way I view Usyk, I view him like as a Pacquiao. Like a Pacquiao was just the guy was just great. You couldn't do nothing to stop him, and his legend will always live on. You know, it'd be that's gonna be a person that's gonna motivate millions and millions of people, just like Usyk. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyone else that you're kind of flirting with aside from Bivol, or that's the only guy in your mind right now? I mean, so right now, the way I think about these fights, I don't really just think of one particular fighter. You know, my job is to lock down the 175-pound weight class. It would either if it's Bivol, Benavidez, all those guys. You know, I really want to reign as a champion for a long, long time. So I'm just thinking about just being the best version of myself and beating all these guys.
I love that. You
Yeah.
definitely have an old-fashioned mindset.
Yeah, and like I said, bro, like there's always gonna be a young lion coming up, you know, that's probably gonna call me out. So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to face the best that's available for me to fight and to show them that I'm the best. You know what I mean? And you know, there's always gonna be good fighters coming up. So like I said, I'm just here to beat whoever the fans want to see me beat.
Yeah. One last thing. We recently lost a boxing legend, George Foreman. I haven't gotten to speak on it, but I wanted to say rest in peace to.
No, yeah, definitely rest in peace to George Foreman. He was one of the greatest to ever do it. You know, he left a great legacy behind. You know, he touched millions of people. So, you know, one day I want to be a champion like George Foreman. You know what I mean? And just be as great as he could be. And like I said, we want to say a rest in peace to his soul as well.
Yeah. Rest in peace. One of the hardest hitters ever. One of the best guys out of the ring. Lifted Joe Frazier off the ground.
Yeah.
So definitely.
And not only did he have a great career, but he made that George Foreman grill. You know, we grew up off the George Foreman grill, making the grilled chickens on there. So, yeah, man, it's a great legacy he left.
Yeah, beat you up and pray for you after. So, definitely a legend, 100%.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time, champ. I appreciate it. We're looking out. He's going down. Let's get it done, man.
Yeah,
Dmitry
yes, sir.
Bivol
Yes,
next,
sir.
God willing.
Yes, sir. My brother.